Let's start off with everyone's favorite Vanderpump Rules character, Jax Taylor, who has certainly seen the inside of a cell. The worst part of this is the crime he gets jailed for is stealing some expensive sunglasses despite the fact that he could easily afford them, which goes to show what kind of person Mr. Taylor is.
Was that just a big misunderstanding, that whole thing?
100%.
But it's not like he's the only well-known star to get caught, because everyone's favorite Big Brother star also had to meet the law. We could spend all day talking about Big Brother contestants, but none have become as pertinent in the fanbase as Boogie Mike, who first appeared in Season 2 of the reality game show. Long after his most recent appearance in Season 14, Boogie Mike was arrested for stalking and threatening his supposedly good friend, Dr. Will Kirby.
What are you going to do with all that money?
Well, I owe Will a jet ski and a gold chain from last time.
Despite being caught for this, he essentially refused to show up for court dates and was found guilty. But Mike Boogie isn't the only winner to get arrested, because it was only a matter of time before a Hell's Kitchen contestant got caught. Michael Ray, the winner of Season 1 of Hell's Kitchen, became addicted to opioid painkillers after an injury. And looking to find more, he broke into a pharmacy with an axe.
Michael took him down big time. That was an interesting lesson, but a very clever move from Michael's behalf.
Ray regrets this choice and turned himself into the police, doing only a month in prison and deciding to turn his life around. Speaking of winners that got arrested, it's no surprise a villain got what they seem to be striving for. Richard Hatch was the quote-unquote villain of the very first season of Survivor, and by doing so, ended up being the very first winner of the reality survival show.
It's that kind of cocky attitude that makes people really hate your guts, so that's the kind of thing I've really got to keep under wraps.
However, because he was the winner of the show, he was arrested. That's because he didn't pay any taxes on his winnings. This led to him spending 51 months in a federal prison. However, not everyone who gets arrested is arrested for a bougie crime like tax evasion. Some people are arrested for a crime as simple as assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Like 90 Day Fiancé star Amanda Wilhelm, who back in 2010 attacked a woman with a baseball bat.
But I have to be cautious. I have to ask these questions, and I have to truly know your intentions.
Now, the whole story behind this is hard to determine due to Amanda claiming it was in self-defense. She was definitely arrested, and while she didn't serve any jail time, she did have to go through with anger management and community service. Now, this arrest has haunted her for some time, so it wouldn't be too surprising if you already knew about this, but that doesn't mean she's the only major arrest from 90 Day Fiancé. Because this next one is a pretty major criminal offense that almost had to be pushed out of this video. So we'll try to keep it simple and vague. Mike Alashwe was a 90 Day Fiancé star who appeared to marry a woman 10 years his junior named Aziza Mazidova.
Aziza's been here for 2 weeks now, and we're getting comfortable living together. But 90 days is flying by, and our sex life is still at a standstill.
Well, this star was charged with owning and distributing inappropriate images, including minors. This is disturbing, to say the least. So, let's move on to someone who was arrested from one of the most memed-on reality shows to talk about, The Apprentice. We're talking about Andrew Brady. Brady was a contestant on the 2017 season of The Apprentice and got into a whirlwind romance with the late Caroline Flack.
I'm not attracted to Anne in any way, shape, or form. As nice as I think Anne is, she ain't my type.
However, in February of 2022, he was arrested and jailed for 4 months after a hearty harassment campaign against GB News host Dan Wooten. He had many weapons confiscated and continually claimed that the reason behind his harassment is because he genuinely believed that Wooten had something to do with the death of Caroline Flack. Also, not to dive into conspiracy theories, but some say that Mr. Brady allegedly may have been the cause of Caroline's death in some way. This all comes from the fact that Caroline was supposedly quite scared of Brady in the weeks leading up to her death. Despite all of this, we can say for sure he was arrested and qualifies for this list, much like this next contestant. He may not have been arrested for harassment, but Leslie Gilliams still lands on our list. Leslie Gilliams was a contestant on Master Chef and well known for being one of the older chefs on the show. And back in 2014, he was arrested. Now, he claims it was because of a major misunderstanding between him and the police. After his sister was rushed off to the hospital, he wanted to go and see her and started to shout and cuss out the police when they would not let him pass.
I think I may have done this in another life.
This led to him being arrested for disorderly conduct and trespassing, and he has since had to defeat claims that he was in a brawl.
Looking good.
However, this isn't the last Gordon Ramsay contestant on this list, because it's finally time that we talk about a chef from Kitchen Nightmares. Sabatello Settembre, better known as Sammy, has been arrested at least twice, both back in 2009. The more recent time being for felony larceny when he spent tens of thousands of dollars on a credit card for a deposit. The week prior, he was arrested for vandalism at his former restaurant and previously caused more than $20,000 worth of damage. All in all, Sammy Settembre may not have the worst crimes, but he's really the only repeat offender on this list.
Because I'm a superstar, and that's why my name is on there. It's all about me.
However, he's not the last person from Gordon Ramsay's repertoire we'll be talking about today. That honor goes to Sarah Horowitz. Sarah Horowitz was a pretty major contestant on Hell's Kitchen Season 2, finishing in 4th place overall on the season.
Sarah! What is going on? Are you f***ing blind?
No, sir.
Sarah was arrested for assaulting her boyfriend, causing him to suffer multiple injuries, and broke his glasses. What did she do exactly? Well, she dumped a cooler full of food all over his car and attacked him. Thanks for watching.